When you think of the goddess Kali, this is probably the image that comes to mind, right? Fierce, destructive, maybe even a little scary. But what if I told you that's only half the story? Today, we're going to peel back the layers, look past all the skulls and swords, and uncover the incredible cosmic truth behind one of the most misunderstood deities out there.
And let's be real, that first impression, it's totally intentional. The source texts are very clear. She is meant to be seen as fierce and terrific. So this isn't some kind of misinterpretation. No, that intimidating, powerful presence is the very starting point for really getting who she is.
And even her surroundings just double down on this whole vibe. She's always standing in a cremation ground, the place where things end. But this isn't just a spooky background for effect. It actually signifies her role as the force behind Samhara. That means constant destruction. It's like her address is literally her job description.
Oh, and the imagery gets even more intense. Let's talk about one of her most iconic features, the Mundamala. That's the garland of skulls she wears. It's a really potent and, yeah, kind of terrifying symbol. But what does it actually mean?
Okay, so the scale of this is, well, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. See, those aren't the skulls of warriors she defeated in some battle. Each and every one of those skulls represents a Mahapralaya, the dissolution of an entire universe. She is literally wearing a record of every reality she has brought to an end, time and time again.
And here's the kicker. This job is never done. Her work is constant, it's relentless. She is the unstoppable, ever-present force of cosmic dissolution. So with all this talk of death and destruction, you have to ask, is that all there is to her? Is she simply an agent of cosmic annihilation? This question is really the key to unlocking her true nature. And, the sources tell us we need to look way, way deeper. In fact, the texts give us this explicit warning. We should not misunderstand her as just a destroyer. Well, that kind of throws a wrench in everything we've just talked about, doesn't it? So, if destruction isn't her only purpose, then what in the world is really going on here? Well, the answer lies in this one crucial concept, parinama. This is the idea that what looks like destruction to us is actually something else entirely. It's cosmic change. It's not an end. It's a vital, essential process for keeping the whole cosmos running smoothly. Without it, everything would just stagnate and fall apart. So think about it like this. The universe isn't being deleted or erased. It's more like it's being withdrawn, folded back into its original source, which is her. It's kept safe, protected inside her, just waiting for the right time to be released again for a brand new creation. It's a cosmic reboot, not a game over.
A really good way to get this is to think about Mahakala's famous cosmic dance, the Tandava, that dissolves the universe. While Kali's work, it's the exact same thing. In fact, she is the dynamic energy, the Shakti, that actually powers the dance. They aren't two different things, they're two sides of the very same cosmic coin.
And that right there leads us to this incredible, almost paradoxical idea. If her act of destruction is what clears the slate for a new beginning, then she is, by definition, also the creator. The end and the beginning aren't just connected. They are one and the same act. Now, this isn't just random, chaotic violence. Not at all. It's a very specific, orderly sequence. And it even has a name, the Parinama Krama. It basically means the process of change. You can think of it as the fundamental operating system of reality. And it's a pretty straightforward three-step deal. First, you get the destruction of whatever came before. Then, out of that dissolution, comes the creation of the perfect environment for what's next. And finally, you have the emergence of brand new things. See? You can't get to step 3 without going through step 1. It's impossible. One causes the other. So after all this deep, cosmic stuff, what if I told you it all comes down to a single, simple number? 2. What could that possibly mean? That 2 represents the 2-for-1 deal you get with her power. Every single act of samhara, or dissolution, doesn't just produce one result. It produces 2, and it does it at the exact same time. So in one single move, she achieves 2 things. First, the end of the old existence, and second, the birth of a new, more refined creation. They aren't sequential, like one happens after the other. Nope, they happen together. They are one inseparable event. And this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the big reveal. The name Kaali is the feminine form of the word kala, which means time. She isn't just named after time.
She is time, personified. Time is the engine that drives this whole cycle, the ultimate reason for both destruction and creation. Kaali is the living, breathing embodiment of that profound truth.
And this isn't a new idea. The ancient sage Pushpadanta said it ages ago. He said that Vama, the feminine principle, is the queen of the creation. It's the ultimate confirmation. This divine feminine force of change is the true master of the entire cosmos.
So let's leave it with this final thought to chew on. We've seen how understanding Kaali completely flips our idea of destruction on its head and turns it into a creative act. But this doesn't just reframe her. It forces us to ask a much bigger question about our own lives. If the end of something is always, automatically, the beginning of something new, what does that say about the nature of time itself?